Hello, this is Annalisa from Faith Dream Create, and welcome back to my channel. Today I have another Father's Day card for you, and I will be using this die from Holtz. This is the Alpine die. I'm not sure if it's available. It's out of stock at Simon Says Stamp, so I will link to it down below and turn on the notifications, and if you like this die, then you will be notified when it comes back into stock, and you can go ahead and pick it up. Along that line, I will have all of the supplies that I am using linked down below in the description box if you want a closer look at the details of these stamps. So I'm going to go ahead, figure out the pieces. Holtz dies are quite detailed but really fun once you put them all together, so I'm just checking out these sizes, and I picked some colors out of my scrap bin to die cut this or ran them through my Big Shot machine, and there is all the pieces. And I have the packaging from the die here to reference to put it all together, because as you can see there's lots of little pieces to layer it up. You could definitely even add foam tape in here to even add more layers, but because you're using different colors, you get a lot of that layer effect already as you layer up the paper and make it work. So I'm using some liquid glue to do this, and then getting it done. And I do add another effect later to add in some more layers as well and add a fun effect. I love to see this come together. I chose to use the gray, and then I used a little bit of brown. In the image they just used different tones of gray, but I only had one gray in my scrap paper that I could find, so I went with this lighter brown. And I really love how it layered it and how it looks. So cool to see it all come together. Just layering this card up. And yeah, like, it's so detailed, but it's so worth it in the end. Once you get all of the pieces together, it just takes time. To get it all done. And as you can see, I've switched liquid glue. My glue has been giving me troubles lately, but we're getting it done. Adding in these snow caps now, making sure it's all in place. And I really love how this card came together. As I created the mountain, and then we add a fun character in. When I was talking to my husband about this card, this was for my father-in-law, after the mountain was all assembled, I was like, what does this card need? I feel like it needs a background, which you will see as we go along, but it's still missing something. What is it missing? And my husband says a Sasquatch, and I was like, but you don't have one of those in your collection. I was like, no, but I have a Yeti. I have a Yeti Lawn Fun stamp set, so that's what you're going to see here a little bit later on. After the mountain is done and the Happy Father's Day sentiment is stamped, I'm going to bring in the Lawn Fun Yeti or Not stamp set, which is super cute, and we're going to add in some fun. That is what my husband requested for his father for Father's Day card, so that's what we're going to do. I also do have another Yeti stamp set from Simon Says Stamp, but that has bigger images, and there's a lot of cute Yeti stamps over at simonsaystamp.com. If you check out that, yep, it's pretty fun. You can get all the Yeti stamps. But we're still chugging along, making this mountain, putting it all together, and making the magic of this mountain come to life. Layering it all up and making it realistic and making it fun. I really love this mountain set recently, and I picked it up when it was on sale at scrapbook.com. They often have sales on Holtz dies, and is really cool, and I'm loving this paper that is metallic green. I had some of it in my collection, so I alternated the trees with a solid green and then some shiny green. And I'm just going to add in the trees now. And as you can see, all of the layers and different colors of the mountains. And I do go ahead and add some more trees in the inside because I did cut some extras just because. And then to add some more layers to this mountain and just make it stand out a little bit more, add a little bit more interest, I'm going to add some, I think it's the glitter snowflake pops of color. I forget what color it is, but I'll have it linked down below in the description box. I added it to the snow-peaked areas just to make those stand out a little bit more. And then add to that shiny effect as well from the mountains. You're going to see that here in a little bit, but first I'm using my Memento Tuxedo black ink to stamp out Happy Father's Day. I have the Happy Father's Day wood-mounted stamp from Hero Arts, and I just stamp that down. And then before I do the snow peaks, I'm adding a line of dots below Happy Father's Day with the black pops of color from scrapbook.com, just to emphasize that sentiment a little bit more, flicking it to make the dots flat. And then here I am coming in with what I was talking about. So the glitter snowflake pops of color, and I'm just adding it over the snow-peaked mountains. And this really added a fun layer, a fun effect, brought out that 3D-ness a little bit more, and then added to the shine of the green trees and to the pops of color down below. And you can't go wrong without glitter in small amounts, and especially glitter that doesn't come off your page. Am I right? I don't like the crazy glitter messes, but I love glitter that stays. So for a while I hummed and hawed over how to add in a background, how to add some more color. You're going to see the Yeti here in a little bit, but I decided to come in with a blue from the Tim Holtz watercolor pencils. I love these watercolor pencils. I've been saying that so much in my videos lately, but this was such an easy way to add in a background, add in some sky later on, and get it done without ruining anything that I already created. You could even do a sunset with this and add in more colors, or you could add in a sun behind the mountains. You could do so many different things with this. So I added a few different blue tones just to give it a different look and have some variation in the sky. So as you can see, I'm adding the watercolor pencils in, and then I'm going to come back in with the Tim Holtz watercolor brush and blend this all together, watercolor it up, and it just gives it a fun, whimsical look in the background. And I love the finished watercolor look. Before, I felt like the background with white was just so plain and it wasn't making the mountain stand out, but by adding in this watercolor effect, it really adds to the card, brings in another element, makes these snow-capped mountains just stand out even more with the blue in the background. Definitely would be fun to explore more like sunsets and purples and blues as well, and get some different effects. But I really love how this turned out. And now here's the Yeti stamp set from Fawn. This is Yeti or Not, and I love this stamp set, and I was excited that I was able to pull it out again. So I'm just going ahead and stamping it out here on some scrap paper, and I'm using the Simon Hurley stamping block to do that. And then I'm going to do a quick color of this just with some grays and the colorless blender and some skin tones. So super quick coloring, getting it done. I wanted this Yeti to be a white as well. I feel like Yetis are white. You could probably do like a light blue Yeti as well to represent the snow, or them hiding in the snow. You could really color them any color you want, but this is what I chose to do, and this is what colors come to my mind when I think of a Yeti. And then I decided to go ahead and stamp out the scarf, and then I'm just adding some detail in as well. Added the blue on the scarf to match the background and make the Yeti pop on the mountain. Because the mountain is like grays and browns and whites, I definitely wanted there to be a little bit of color because I chose to color the Yeti just in grays and whites and keeping it simple. So then I fussy cut these out off camera. Once I add in all of the detail, I'm adding in the detail now. Some polka dots for the Yeti's scarf because I can, and it really makes the scarf pop and just stand out even more. So these guys are fussy cut out, and now I can go ahead and add the Yeti to the mountain, but first I need to add the scarf to the Yeti. So now I'm using my advanced tape letter because my liquid glue was giving me trouble and I needed to get this card done. So I'm going to add in the scarf and then the Yeti to the mountain, and that will finish up the card here in a quick second. Let's get this Yeti down. Are you ready for Father's Day? Or should I say, are you Yeti for Father's Day? Do you make Father's Day cards, and what does that look like for you? When I'm posting this, it's actually Father's Day in Canada. So when does your country celebrate Father's Day? Another subscriber told me on my last Father's Day video that they celebrate Father's Day earlier in June, I believe. So let me know down below in the comments what that looks like for your country. And then I'm just adding the trees on the inside, the extra 3 that I'd cut out. And I was able to get my liquid glue to work for these trees. Still loving the glossy, shiny trees. And this is the finishing touch here. And I am loving the shine, and I really love the finishing touch of the Yeti. It was a great idea from my husband, and this card turned out super, super great. Let me know down below in the comments what you think of this card, and hit the like button and consider subscribing to my channel because I have more content coming your way to inspire you in your crafting as well. I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.